Hey, shalom, shalom. First things first, I want to give all praises and glory and honor to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. I'd like to give double honors unto the elders and the apostles of Great Millstone. Salutations unto you elect Akim that's pushing the gospel in sincerity and truth, waking up the hopeful elect, men, women, and children, wherever they may be. Allah Akim Mahalaya, coming back with another lesson through the spirit and power Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. Regarding, this is a part of the truth that brothers don't really expound on, though brothers do go into this very sporadic and scratch the surface of it. But this is one of the part of the truth that kind of intrigues me to go deeper into it, because the scriptures say, well, look, man, with all thy get understanding. So if we consider men of the Lord, man, and King Solomon said that he gave his heart and his mind and his spirit to know wisdom. So we research different plateaus and the truth and different things like the prophecies, man, the spiritual realm, the dimensions, the law, statutes, and commandments, man, the government, Esau. We research all things. We go into all accounts, because the scripture is 10-dimensional. It's not just one particular angle that you can go into and stay on. You can kind of branch out. And this is one of the things that always interests me, going into the spirit realm and things like that. To let you know that the spirit realm is very indeed real, and the Lord, he operates on both sides, man. And I have some experiences, some testimonies myself of dealing with these particular things, man. So I got a video here. It's a site called Frost Mirror TV. This guy, he puts up videos to pretty much get a fright out of people, and he's making his money with it, which I'm not knocking him for, because this is a form of entertainment. But nonetheless, a lot of the things he bring out is real. So just try to bear with me through this video, Akia. He's going to make some very interesting points about sleep paralysis, which is the scientific term deemed by Esau of being held down in your sleep, when in fact it is spirits. And myself, I've been having this type of phenomenon since I was 3 or 4 years old, so I know exactly how it feels. But we're going to show you how this is the Lord operating and sending these spirits to you, man, to rather test your faith or to jack you up, man. And a lot of people have accounts of this. So I'm going to play the video. Might not go through the whole 8 minutes, because it kind of get a little bit tedious, I should say. But nonetheless, man, if the spirit have it to play, hope you brothers will be edified by it, followed by the precepts. But anyway, here we go.
We sleep. We are very vulnerable to things that are not from this world. Some of us are even able to leave their physical body. They can fully detach their spirit, looking down on themselves and explore the further. Though one must be very careful.
All right, they call that astral projection, and I've had accounts, man. I feel like that you're looking at yourself, or when it's like an outer body experience, man. I'm out. It's like, I don't know, your spirit is out your body. You can see yourself, but you're completely conscious, but you can't move. All right, that's one form of it. But the next form is that it's something holding you down. I feel like you're being strangled, or something is in the room with you, man. And that happened to me. That happened to me every goddamn week. But a handful of times I've seen something, but they say it can be hallucinating your mind, make things real. When you're in between a dream state and a physical realm, you can kind of hallucinate and see things. But no, you actually see things at times, man. And I can give a handful of times that I actually seen something. And 3 nights ago, this damn something appeared in my room, and I'm going to get into that. But I'm going to let the video play and go into the scriptures.
When attempting astral projection, bad entities are out there in the nether, waiting for you to detach yourself too far. They will try to steal your soul and take possession of your body. In this video,
and I'm gonna say this, that's one of the most terrifying experiences you can have. And just you talking about it, it'll happen to you, because it's spiritual. All right, so when stuff like that happen to you, it feels like you can't move, man. You're completely conscious. It's just like you waking up, and you're waking up, and all of a sudden you can't move. It feel like somebody's putting the cover over your head or jumping on your chest, man. And that happened to me, man, to the point that the covers was slightly over my eyes, so I was able to see it, but I wasn't even trying to pull them down. It's like something was pulling it down, and I saw like a figure in the middle of my floor. Because you got to have a real strong spirit to see these things, man. You got to have a heavy spirit, man, because hey, it should have bugged you out if you let it, and it's real terrifying. But nonetheless, it wasn't looking at me, if it was something, but it was like a figure in the middle of my room, man. And I have hats on my door here, and I had the light on in the kitchen, so it could have been the reflection of this being a face, but nonetheless, I felt something that was there, and that was happening to me all night to the point that the covers was actually caving down on my damn face the second time it happened. It's like somebody was literally pressing on my damn neck trying to strangle me. But you called on the name of the Lord, and he'll deal with it. And I realize it happened to me when if I'm depressed, if I'm stressed out, if I'm sleep deprived, because last couple last couple of weeks, man, I ain't really been getting too much sleep. I've been operating on 4 or 5 hours of sleep just because, and I haven't even been tired waking up. But just when that happens, I'm real sleep deprived. I'm either stressed out or I'm thinking about it, or it just happens, man. And I know brothers can attest to this because brothers go through this, and the men of the Lord will go through this because every time I pray to ask the Lord to strengthen my faith, He send those spirits to fuck with you, man, so you can ultimately have faith and leave it into Him. But nonetheless, it's some real shit, man, and I'm gonna play the video.
Take a look at some real stories which have directly inspired the movie Insidious. The Insidious movie is a dark tale in which a sinister ghost of an old woman lures a young boy far into the nether. He falls into a deep coma and is unable to find his way back to his own body. The movie begins with the introduction of Renee and Josh Lambert, who have recently moved into a new home with their 3 children. One morning, Renee looks at some old family pictures with her son Dalton, who asks why there are no pictures of Josh when he was a child. Renee reasons that he always has been camera shy and
All right,
dislike
now
taking.
I got a precept real quick, just to back up this claim, because hey, man, you gotta understand that Yahweh Shemi Hawashai, man, He's the orchestrator of all these things. The Lord controls all things. All right, so we gonna go from here. I'm gonna get the book of Job, the 4th chapter, start at 13th verse. This is Job 4:13. It says, "And the thoughts from the visions of the night, when deep sleep followed on men," it says, "fear came upon me and trembling, which made all my bones shake." And that's how it feels, man. That's how it feels when you have that so-called sleep paralysis or spirits or whatever you want to talk about or whatever you want to deal with. It feels like that, man. And it's a very terrifying thing because, as this guy just mentioned in the video, when you sleep, you're vulnerable. All right, because you have something which is called REM sleep, which is rapid eye movement when you enter into the deepest phase of sleep possible. So you're just completely vulnerable then, and that opens up portals in your mind to allow these things to enter in. And it says, "The spirit passed before my face. The hair of my flesh stood up," because there was a spirit there, man. All right, because you got to understand the Most High was afflicting Job. And it says, "It stood still, but I could not discern the form thereof." So he couldn't make out what it was. Like, what the hell is that? But nonetheless, it was something in his presence. And it says, "And an image was before my eyes. There was silence, and I heard a voice saying." All right, but the point about it said, "A spirit passed before my face. The hair on my flesh stood up." All right, because the Most High sent the spirit to him. All right, and the Most High deals with this. He controls both sides, man. So the spirit realm ain't no joke, man. The 4th dimension, because look, you in the 3rd dimension right now, what is measured by height, depth, length, and width. Which you can say that length and width is pretty much the same because they expand outward or horizontally. All right, height being vertical, depth being a downward spiral of vertical. All right, so in the spirit realm, it's 4th-dimensional because, for one thing, in its 3rd dimension, we're operating or we're bound by the laws of gravity, the laws of physics. In the 4th dimension, you're not, because that's a spiritual realm. So in the 4th dimension, you got height, length, width, depth, and you're not bound by the laws of physics. There's no gravity there, man, because spirits, they can float, they can astral project, they can do whatever they need to do. All right, so it says, "Then a spirit passed before my face. The hair of my flesh stood up." Okay, and that was what Job was talking about, because you got to understand, according to the book of Job, the 1st chapter, the Most High sent Satan among him to afflict him, to test his faith ultimately. All right, so going to the book of Job 7:13, it says, "When I say my bed shall comfort me, my couch shall ease my complaint, then thou scarest me with dreams and terrifies me through visions." All right, because people have made accounts that they seen things. I've seen things, not as much as some people, but nonetheless, you see things and you feel things. And one time it was like I was getting shot. Well, invisible beanbags, man. It was like a phantom type figure, and he was just standing in the middle of the room, just shooting at me, and it was like I was literally getting shot. Couldn't move, but I'm getting tortured. You know what I'm saying? By whatever the hell it was. And I was just like, man, this shit is crazy. But hey, nonetheless, the man of the Lord, bro, we gonna go through things like that because we getting ready to enter Jacob's trouble. Esau's getting ready to bankrupt the society, and also you have what you call CERN, all right, which they're opening up portals to the different or the spirit realm, different dimensions, and they're casting those spirits upon the earth. And it makes a lot of sense because if you go into the book of Sirach, the 39th chapter, tell you that the Most High got these different deities out here and these different apparitions that he's gonna let walk among the earth and manifest themselves. So it makes sense that he would put it in Esau's spirit to create CERN, which operates in God particles and splitting particles that operates faster than the speed of light to manipulate and open up new dimensions, man. Because look, man, you never know what the Most High got created, man. All kinds of dimensions, probably parallel universes and so forth. Who knows? But hey, man, Esau is really upping up his witchcraft and his sorcery. And it says here that my soul chooseth strangling and death rather than my life, because he was getting so tormented, he would rather give up the spirit than go through this. Because Job was afflicted with boils, he lost his family, he lost his substance, his wealth, man. He was completely beat down, but he kept his integrity. Okay? All right, so this is the book of Job 1 verse 6. It says, matter of fact, I'm going to just go back to the video. I don't want to give it all away, but we're going to listen to it.
Photos of himself. But a bit later, it turns out that Josh himself was haunted by the malevolent ghost lady. Whenever a picture was taken of him, the lady could be seen. Each time someone took a shot, she appeared to come closer and closer.
That's terrifying. You got some damn demon following
the
you.
young boy sees the attic door open and goes to investigate after hearing sounds upstairs. As he enters inside, he tries to climb a ladder to turn on the light, but falls when the ladder cracks. As he falls to the floor, he seems to stare in horror at the darkness, as looking at something terrifying. Shaken, he is put to bed by his parents and told not to play in the attic because it's off limits. The next day, his parents can't seem to wake their son up. Renee and Josh rush him to the hospital, where the doctors say he is in an inexplicable coma. And that is where the dark story of unexplainable events and ghosts begins. Believe it or not, but there are people in this world who claim to have had experiences that were very similar, only that they have happened to them for real. The following stories are entries found in a journal that are believed to be legit and that have directly influenced the movie Insidious. It was a very old leathery book, which also had several pages missing. The first entry goes like this. I do not know if this can affect my spirit when projecting. Also, I would like to add that several of my negative experiences happened during projections I did not attend myself, but happened naturally. One of the most unique experiences happened several years ago. I found myself drifting from that state of complete awake awareness into sleep. When I tried to open my eyes, I immediately knew that I was using my astral sight, not my physical eyes. The very first thing I saw was a man hovering over me. He looked mostly human, except for his smile.
See, all right, man. I mean, people have accounts of that. Whatever these sorcery that these people are dipping and dabbing in, the Lord is bringing this upon them because of their wickedness is something that they got themselves into, whether it could have been a past life or, you know, a lot of these Edomites, man, they got blood on their hands, and the Native Americans, man, smited them, curses on them. This land is cursed. America is completely haunted and cursed, man, and they killed the blood of our ancestors. The Lord could be putting them spirits on them like that, because really, Jake don't really go through shit. We don't really go through things to that severity, because the scriptures tell you in Numbers, the 23rd chapter, that there's no enchantment against Jacob. Though we get tempted, though we, you know, see things like this, but Esau gets tormented by that shit. All right, because the scriptures tell you, man, that this devil is gonna be tormented, man. He's going to be tortured because all the wickedness he sowed in the earth is coming back on him. All these spirits the Most High is gearing towards Esau. All right. So anyway, it says here, verse 15. It says, "Then the spirit passed before my face. The hair of my flesh stood up." Man, that was like a literal spirit, man. And people have accounts of that when the room go cold or you feel something fly past you. You're like, oh shit. It's like that. And I can't say that I have too many experience with that particular phenomenon when I felt something pass me, but I have had a few. I remember when I was working construction and indoors, at these hospitals, man, and hospitals and mortuaries are filled with spirits because people come and go, they die there. And we was in a decommissioned part of it, and we was like on the 3rd floor. Everything was decommissioned, but we was slated to go up there to look at the fire rating walls that was in the grids of the ceilings, and it was like completely pitch black. But when we went through this pitch black room, we saw one room that had the light from the outside in there, but it was probably like it was ways down the hall. But as we plunged deeper into the darkness, man, the darkness got so damn thick. And it's like you was being smothered, like almost somebody was holding us, man. I was like, damn, it's like the closer you went towards this light and deep in the dark you went, the harder it became and the more pressure you felt. It's like being underwater, man. And it felt like that. And I was like, man, this place got all types of spirits in it. You felt it because people died in there. You know what I'm saying? So it's some heavy things going on out here, man. And like I was getting into that whole CERN thing, which I'm going to bring out a little edification on that too, Lord's will. But this is the book of Job 1:6. It says, "Now that was a day when the sons of the Most High came to present themselves before the Lord, and Satan came also among them. And the Lord said unto Satan, Whence comest thou? Then Satan answered Yahweh and said, From going to and fro in an earth, and from walking up and down in it." And you know that when people cast out exorcisms, man, they do that Holy Mary shit up and down, to and fro, man, because they use a demonic exorcism to cast out an exorcism. They don't do it in the name of Yahweh Shah. Therefore, it's not a real exorcism. But it says here, like they said that Yahweh Shah used Beelzebub to cast out demons, and Beelzebub is a demon. The Lord of the Flies is a spirit. So that proves that they use wicked divinations to so-called pacify their exorcism. Okay, but it says here, "Perfect and a right man, one that fears the Most High and escheweth evil." Then Satan answered the Lord and said, it says, "Doth Job fear the Most High for naught? Hast thou not made a hedge about him, about his house, and about all that he have on every side? Thou hast blessed the works of his hand, and his substance and increase in the land." Right, because Job, he had that perfective or the protective barrier, that shield around him. He had the angels around him, like all us brothers do. The reason why we still living is because we got the hedge of angels around us protecting us. Because when you getting ready to give up the spirit, the Most High remove that angel from your side, and you got a death angel hovering over you, man. And if you can look into the spirit realm, you will be able to see it. And another reason how we know we got angels over us and protected, because a lot of brothers can look, like I can look out of my window and I can always, I always see a chariot in the sky, at least 2 or 3 just sitting there. So nonetheless, brothers are being protected, but that's one thing. You don't want that to leave your side. And a lot of guys that came and fell out the truth, they don't have that protection anymore. All right, and that's what you don't want. But see, in Job's situation, the Most High did it to test. And it says here, but put forth thy hand now and touch all that he have, and he would curse thee to thy face. And the Lord said unto Satan, Behold, all that he hath, it says, all that he hath is in thy power, only because himself put not forth thy hand. So Satan went forth from the presence of the Lord. All right, so we're going to go back to the video, because that was just an example on how the Most High sent Satan on people. When you get this shit happening to you, hey, the Lord is the king of terrors. It say he's the father of spirits. So when you see something dealing with you or trying to fuck with you, hey, Yahweh Shai gave that permission. They got to go to the Lord, the mighty creator, Yahweh, all right, and Yahweh Shai, man, to get that permission. They just can't manifest themselves and just do something to you. They got to get permission from the Heavenly Father, because they fear the Most High, because the Most High charged the angels with folly. They fear him, because if they don't do their bidding, hey, the Lord is going to do away with them, and they don't want that, because the Most High can put something fearful on the fearful, man. He can spook the demons with something, man, and they are afraid of the Lord, like we all should be, because he's not one to trifle with. You know, and that's a scary thing when you come into this truth, man. You got to stay in it, because if you fall out, man, hey, you're done. And hey, brothers come and go. We've seen it, and just hopefully that the Lord keep us in this. But here we go.
His smile, quite literally, reached from one of his ears to the other. His teeth appeared to be pointed.
That's the Babadook. Hey, that's Nate right there. That's Nathaniel 7, the Babadook. But no, and also the scriptures tell you that the Most High got grievous looking angels. He got angels, man, that look like gargoyle. He got grievous looking angels, man. That's why a lot of times when a prophet saw the angels or the spirits, man, they bowed down, because it was a frightful sight to look at. When you tell me you can look at something like that just being in the flesh, when it catches you off guard, you're going to flip. You got to ultimately be built up in the spirit of Yahweh Shem Yahweh to deal with something like that, man. And be honest with you, a lot of us not there yet, you know. And in order to get there, you got to go face to face with it. And the Lord is going to test you, man. He's going to test us, man. And hey, if you don't pass that test, man, how you going to get through Jacob's trouble? You know, and that's something that we got to pray about, man. Some brothers, man, look, some things, you know, brothers say they not afraid of anything. You know, it's the Lord he know your being. He knows what can bug you out. So without being in denial, man, brothers should really meditate on the things that make them feel uneasy, and they should try to face it, man, and pray to the Lord to give that strength so they can be built up to deal with it. You know what I'm saying? And it's not an easy thing. That's like jumping in a swimming pool of 50 feet. You don't know how to swim. You better swim or you're going to drown. You know, and ultimately what proves it is having faith. People who swim on faith because they know they can do it. It's about faith. You know, even if you are getting spiritually attacked, man, you got to always keep it in mind that the Lord is going to see you through the other side, man. He always going to do it, no matter if it scares the fuck out you, which it will. But hey, you got to be willing to deal with it, man. Sometimes you got to say, you know what, fuck this shit. Look, it ain't going to, what if it do something to me, then that's the Lord's will, you know.
And she looked so incredibly.
Yeah, that's Nate right there. That's the Babadook.
It was like something you would see on the face of the Joker. He had no hair and had his eyes fixed, and his hands hovering palms down over my stomach. He looked very satisfied with himself, or me, or both. I feel that I began to sit up slightly at this point, because his eyes started from my solar plexus over to my face, and my probably wide and fearful stare. Immediately, his smile turned to the most eerie scowl I've ever seen, and he lunged at my face with his hands outstretched for my throat. This startled me so much, I literally threw everything back into my body and came back to my senses, sitting in my bed. This was years ago, and to this day, I have extremely bad and debilitating stomach problems. I've been to doctors more times than I can count, and they cannot figure out what's wrong or why I experience stomach pain and nausea every day of my life. The entry ends here. 2 pages further, the following entry can be found. I very gracefully float away from my body one night. Peace on my brain and light in my heart. I walk out into the main room of my house and out of my front door. As I start outside, I look to my left and see a big figure covered with some hooded black mantle, standing with its back to me and facing my house. Its face almost touching the wall. Its shoulders were pulled down, and it swayed back and forth all the time. I felt uneasy immediately. As if it sensed me, it turned and started to come towards me. It had a way of floating about it, as I saw no feet or legs, but watched it come closer. I felt more confident at this moment, because in my head, I felt like I knew why it was here. It felt like it was feeding off of the energy around my home. The way it was swaying and kept looking to the ground made me feel like it was taking something from the energy. I felt the overwhelming confidence of needing to protect my home and my daughter, and put my hands out in front of me, palms out. I imagined bright energy flowing from my fingertips towards this being. I watched the bright light flow out of my hands like water. This seemed to work at first because it began to float backwards. But then, as if it could read my mind, it changed again and came at me fast. I got so startled that in my head I said, "God, please help me." And I was immediately and precisionally lifted out of that place. I felt myself rise up, as opposed to my usual falling down sensation that occurs when I go back to my body. I then found myself in bed. This was the last sentence of that story, and I'm sure there are many more to tell. But we will leave with the knowledge that astral projection might be dangerous, and that for sure, unexplainable things are out there in the world that try to feed from our energy. Be very cautious tonight when you start falling asleep. And watch out for the evil grinning
They're
man.
just trying to
He
scare you
could
now,
float
but
above you
nonetheless,
when you
people see
awake.
shit like that, man. Those spirits and
I hope you
demons
guys
and
liked
angels.
this story. Please subscribe and leave a like to this.
And believe it or not, when this society collapses, man, you're gonna Most High is gonna actually see a lot of madness like that walking around here. So don't be surprised, man, because hey, Lord, He don't play no games when it comes to that, man. You're gonna see a lot of that stuff walking around here because, like we was talking about earlier, the CERN, man, okay, manipulating the dimensions, the particles, and so forth. The God particle, I like to call it. Esau is tampering with the fabric of existence, and that's what this devil doing. And the Most High is gonna judge his ass for that because, hey, when he presented the wisdom of good and evil, when Eve ate of the apple, which is the philosophies, man, Esau or that serpent had accounted these things, man, and he put it in the earth. So these people, man, they're in some high, like the elites, man, they're in some high level shit. You know, what am I looking for? Slakyaki. I'm trying to find my way up out of here. You know, these elites on some high power wickedness. So, you know, we got to be prayed up all the time because, hey, we playing. You're tampering with the devil. Esau is a complete devil, all right? So this is the book of Job 2:1. It says, and this is all through Yahweh Shemi Hawashai, man. The Lord, the one you ignorantly call Christ. He's, man, the Lord is badass, man. You want to always be on His right hand side because if you piss Him off, hey, you gonna know about it. But it says, and again, there was a day when the sons of the Most High came to present themselves before the Most High. And Satan came also among them to present himself before the Lord, which proves that Satan is the son of the Most High. It says, and the Lord said unto Satan, from whence comest thou? And Satan answered the Lord and said, from going up to and fro in the earth and from walking up and down in it. And the Lord said unto Satan, Salakim, it says, have thou considered my servant Job, that there is none like him in the earth, a perfect and an upright man, which he was a man of the Lord. To show you that the Lord, He sent things to plague the men of the Lord, man. This ain't just the falling these evil, wicked ass niggas out here. Hey, the men of the Lord got to go through this temptation too, man. And sometimes it's on a whole nother level that you can't even bear. You can't even fathom the existence of it. And it says here, that feared the Most High and escheweth evil, and still holdeth fast his integrity, although thou moved me against him to destroy him without a cause. And Satan answered the Lord and said, skin for skin, yea, that a man have what he give for his life. But put forth thy hand now, and touch his bone and his flesh, and he will curse thee to thy face. And I was talking about his family. And the Lord said unto Satan, behold, he is in thy hand, but save his life. So went Satan forth the presence of Yahweh, and smote Job with sore boils from the sole of his foot unto his crown. And he took him a potsherd and scraped himself withal, and he sat down among the ashes. Then thou said his wife, dost thou still retain thy integrity? Curse the Most High and die, because a woman has no damn faith. Things go good, she cool, but when things happen, she started to run her fucking mouth and cause more pain than righteousness. But he said unto her, thou speakest as the foolish woman. Speaketh what? Shall we receive good at the hands of the Most High, and shall we not receive evil? And all this, Job did not sin with his lips. So, hey, man, that shows you right there, the Lord deals with balance. He says, shall we receive just good, and shall we not receive evil? Because Job understood, he was a learned man. He dealt with balance, man. You're going to have good, you're going to have bad. And when you win this truth, man, you're going to have way more downs than ups. But nonetheless, it's about a balance. And it says, Now when Job's 3 friends heard of all this evil that was come upon him, they came everyone from his own place. And I'm going to stop there, because the point about it is that the Lord send these evil angels, these spirits among you, to test you, or if you wicked, to do away with you, man. Because hey, what happened when those so-called Jews, man, when they was like, well, Paul we know, Yahweh Shai we know, but who are you? And put hands on them. Because hey, they wasn't right with the Most High, and they didn't have the faith built up to deal with it. Like each and every brother, man, though we perform our own exorcism, we should have control over these things, man. We should be able to actually put an exorcism out through the spirit and power of Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai. But and really we do it every day when we deal with people and dealing with our women and so forth. But we're talking about more on a spiritual to spiritual basis, man. Like when hunted shit, we should be able to deal with that in the spirit without bugging out. That's why Yahweh Shai said, look, man, if you have faith as the size of a mustard grain, a mustard seed, you can move mountains, man. And a lot of brothers' faith is not, it's not what we thought it can be. It's really not there, and we got to be built up to it. So therefore the Lord is going to put you through certain tests. And hey, it may be a shitty ordeal, but it's just something that we have to bear with. All right. Let me see something here. All right, well, let me go to the book of Hebrews 12 and 9. Because the Lord is the Father of spirits. And this is his program, he controls both sides. And it's gonna be some heavy situations in the near future when these lights get cut off in America, because hey, all the 10 plagues that came upon Egypt is gonna come upon America. You better believe it not, when that EMP strike hit, it's gonna be a haunted house out here, baby. It's gonna be fun and games. Ain't no fun and games, man. It's gonna be all straight boots on the ground. Esau with his wickedness. So they gonna literally have the spiritual demon Satan working with them, like a madman sparing none, being possessed. All right, so this is the book of Hebrews 12 and 9. It says, furthermore, we have had fathers of our flesh which corrected us, and we gave them reverence. Shall we not much rather be in subjection unto the Father of spirits and live? So fathers being our ancestors, man, the elders, they give us correction. We give them reverence, double honors. So, hey, should we not much rather be in subjection unto the Father of spirits, meaning that we got to be total in subjection to Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai, because he's the Father of spirits. He's the Father of spirits. The Lord controls everything, the left, the right, the good, the bad, the up, the down. Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai controls it all, man. All right? That's what he does, man. That's why he is known as the Father of spirits, man, the King of terrors. All right? And the Lord is going to prove just that in due time. He's going to prove that he's the King of terrors, man. And a lot of you 2/3 Negroes, man, Latinos and Native Americans, and you women, y'all ain't ready for that type of, y'all ain't ready for it. You are not ready. Not ready. But we're going to go into the book of the Maccabees, man, because when they came against Heliodorus, the Most High sent a apparition on him to put him down, because he was being the damn demon against the Lord's people. But anyway, this is the book of 2 Maccabees. I think this is the 3rd chapter, 2 Maccabees 3, and I'm going to start at verse 23. It says, nevertheless, Heliodorus executed that which was decreed. And it says, now, as he was there present himself with his guard about the treasury, the Lord of spirits and the prince of all power, okay, talking about Yahweh Shai and the Most High, it says, caused a great apparition, so that all that presumed to come in with him were astonished at the power of the Most High, and fainted, and were so afraid. Because the Lord, man, hey, he opened up that spirit realm. Hey, your ass is grass, man. Because everything around you is controlled by the things you don't see. So when people out here bugging out on their own drugs, they may have a drug demon hovering over them. You just don't see it because we're in a physical realm. We're in a 3rd dimension. You can't see the things of the spirit all the time unless the Lord chooses to manifest. You can't really tell. But people that's bugging out, they got spirits on them. You just can't see it, but they got demons on them, man. Look, 99% of these people out here got fucking demons on them. Your woman got a demon on her, man. Your mama got a demon on her. Your father got a demon on him. Your kids got spirits on them. We had spirits on us, man. That's why I tell you that, look, man, when you go back into the world, man, you get 7 more spirits wickeder than the first one. Because it compared to your body being cleansed as a house being cleansed of filth. But when you come back, hey, man, it's going to, the hoarding is going to start again. And it says him, and there appeared unto him, to them, a horse with a terrible rider upon him. and adorned with a very fair covering. And he ran fiercely and smote Heliodorus with his 4 feet, meaning that he just stomped the shit out of his ass. Most High raised up a spirit to come put hands on him, an angel, a death angel. It says, and smote him at his 4 feet, meaning he just power kicked the shit out of him. And it seemed that he sat upon a horse and had completed a complete harness of gold. And it says, moreover, 2 other young men appeared before him, notable in strength, excellent in beauty, and comely in apparel, who stood by him on the other side and scourged him continually and gave him many more stripes. So after the first spirit came up and Liu Kang kicked him, 2 more spirits came and they just stomped them out, man. And it says here, excellent in beauty and comely in apparel. Angels, angels are badass, man. And it says, and gave him many sore stripes, meaning they put hands on him. And the Most High can raise these spirits up to do something to you, man. He can. People waking up with marks and scratches and stuff on them. People actually die from sleep paralysis, man. And if you research that whole history about Freddy Krueger, that goes into a real story, kind of, sort of, but in a roundabout way. Brothers can research it. And it says, and Heliodorus fell suddenly into the ground. It was compassed with great darkness, meaning he stomped him out, blacked out, to the point he died. And it says, but they that were with him took him up and put him into a litter. Thus him that lately came with the great train and with all his guard into the said treasury, they carried out, being unable to help himself with his weapons, and manifestly they acknowledged the power of the Most High. For by the hand of the Most High he was cast down, and laid speechless without all hopes of life, man. So hey, the Lord put his ass down, put him down, smote him. And the Lord is cold-blooded like that, man. Lord don't play no games when it comes to his business, man. You fuck with his people, hey, he gonna fuck with you. And that's how Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai get down. Alright, so I got this whole this article on CERN here. It says extra dimensions, gravitations, and tiny black holes. This is on CERN. It says here, extra dimensions may sound like science fiction, but they can explain why gravity is so weak. And it says gravity is so much weaker than the other fundamental forces. A small fridge magnet is enough to create an electromagnetic force greater than the gravitational pull exerted by planet Earth. It says one possibility is that we don't feel the full effect of gravity because parts of it spreads to extra dimensions, though it may sound like a science fiction. And it says if extra dimensions exist, they could explain why the universe is expanding far faster than expected, and why gravity is weaker than other forces of nature. And then it says in the scriptures that Yahweh Shai, roughly paraphrasing it, my Father's house is of many mansions, and also he created the worlds. Okay, so it is different galaxies and solar systems and different dimensions out there that we can't even fathom right now, And it says the question of scale. It says in our everyday lives we experience 3 spatial dimensions and a 4th dimension of time. How could there be more? And it goes into Einstein's general theory of relativity, tells us that space can expand, contract, and bend, right? Because the Most High is control of all these things. It tells you that the earth hang in the middle of nothing. The waters cover the face of the deep, the universe, man. But yet you got these stupid ass Negroes in Israel containing us to some flat earth, man. Like we in some goddamn Ipa and our universe consists under this one dome. Well, that's the case. If that was true, then hey, that means that the earth must be infinite in size then. That means that the map that we're currently looking at today is not true. Alright, because the scriptures tell you can't measure the earth, but with a flat earth and a dome you can measure that. But scriptures tell you in the book of Psalms you cannot measure the depths of the earth because the curvature. You can't measure a curve, man. It's just impossible. Okay? But it says here, now if one dimension were to contract to a size smaller than an atom, it will be hidden from our view. But if we look on a small scale enough, that hidden dimension may become visible again. Imagine a person walking on a tightrope. She can only move backwards and forwards, but not left and right nor up and down. So she's only one dimension. Ants living in a much smaller scale can move around in a cable in what appears to be like an extra dimension through a tightrope walker. Okay, now, if you watch that series on Netflix called Stranger Things, they actually displayed that scenario because Stranger Things was dealing with the multi-dimension thing. It was different worlds within the world. Like it was portals open up, and believe it or not, there's portals all around you. You just can't see them. Like I just have a theory on the whole Bermuda Triangle disappearance and so forth. The polar axis, the north and the southern poles, man. Different pockets within the heavens, man. I believe that it's portals everywhere, because if you go into the breakdown of Jacob's ladder, hey, that was basically a portal to the other world, man. Okay, but anyway, but CERN, they're dealing with trying to open up portals to different realms, man. Well, really the spirit realm, and that's the reason why you have a lot of this wickedness, man. A lot of this phenomenon that's going on the planet Earth, and people are getting more demons on them because they're invoking spirits through Esau's witchcraft, the elite. Isaiah 47, it says, stand nigh with thy enchantments, because these devils are the ultimate fucking witches. This is what they do. Esau is the devil, okay? And he's on some high level shit. We only scratching the surface on what the elite is doing. But it says here, how can we test for extra dimensions? Here you go, trying to play the Most High. It says, one option would be evidence of particles that can exist only if extra dimensions are real. Theory suggests that extra dimensions predict that in the same way as atoms have low energy ground state and excited high energy states, there will be heavier versions of standard particles in other dimensions. These heavier versions of particles, called the Kaluza-Klein states, would have exactly the same properties as standard particles, and also be visible to our detectors, but with a greater mass. So if CMS or Atlas or ATLAS were to find Z or W like particles, the Z and W bosons being carried with electronic weak force, with the mass 100 times larger. For instance, this may suggest the presence of extra dimensions. Such heavy particles can only be revealed through the high energies reached by a large hadron collider. Okay, so basically, man, these damn demons are trying to open up the damn spirit world, man. That's why a lot of this, you see dark matter, early universe. That's why a lot of this bullshit, you see a lot of these people bugging the hell out, because these spirits are being extracted from the spirit realm on earth, and they hopping on people. Okay, I do believe that, man, without a reasonable doubt. You know, if you brothers beg to differ, then hey, you know, that's just what it is. But nonetheless, the scriptures backs up these claims plain and simple, okay? So we get the first book of Kings 22, 22nd chapter, man. Old Testament, First Kings, bingo, 22 and 19, to show that the Lord deals with both sides. All right, so this is the book of First Kings 22 and 19. It says, and he said, hear thou therefore the word of Yahweh. I saw the Lord sitting on his throne, and all the host of heaven standing by him on his right hand and on his left. I mean, you got the angels on the right, you got the demonic angels on the left. They all standing there. And the Lord said, who shall persuade Ahab that he may go up and fall at Rathmagid? And one said on this matter, and another said on that matter. And there came forth the spirit and stood before the Lord and said, I will persuade him. The left hand side. Hey, man, because the Lord is grievous, man. Look, he said, look, the deceived and the deceiver are his. So, hey, look, he up in the spirit realm consulting and plotting on you, man. Lord, like, look, man, I'm going to send the most bloodiest, thirstiest demon down there to fuck with your ass and put you to death, man. I have somebody to come up and hit you with a damn truck. You know what I'm saying? Or fucking shoot you in the back of the head, man, with a sawed off, man. The Lord does that. He's cold like that, man. And people say, oh, the Lord don't kill. The Lord, look, we're reading the scriptures, man. The Lord said who gonna go down there and be a lion spirit, because this is his divine purpose. Fuck what you people are talking about, you Christians out there. What Pastor Tarkai said, you wacky. He says you wacky ass Christians, man. All right, and it says here, it says, and the Lord said unto him, wherewith? Meaning like, well, what? And he said, I will go forth, and I will be a lying spirit in the mouth of all his prophets. And he said, thou shalt persuade him and prevail also. So the Lord told him, like, look, you're going to persuade him and you're going to prevail over him. He says, go forth and do so. The Lord gave him the order, like, okay, go ahead. You're going to do this. Go ahead and do so. And, hey, you think that demon said anything to the Lord? He bowed down like, okay, yes, Abba. And went down there, man, and did what he had to do. He ain't say, well, what you mean I got to do this and that? Look, man, look, these spirits ain't like you niggas. They're in subjection, whether they be evil or good. They are in total subjection. He just said, go forth and do so. And the angel went ahead and did it, because they fear him. They know what he's like, man. But you stupid, dumb niggas don't fear Yahweh Hashem Yahushua. And that's why you going to get jacked up, man. Okay? And it says, now therefore, behold, the Lord hath put a lying spirit in the mouth of all these thy prophets, and the Lord hath spoken evil concerning thee. All right, so, and you brothers can read the account of that and get the more edification on it, but you know the point we were making with that. Okay, so let's go into another precept, the book of Psalms, the 78th chapter, and we almost at the end of it. Book of Psalms 78. Here we go, bingo. 78 and 49 to be precise. Because the Lord is cold-blooded, man, and we live in a very, we serving a very we serving a very fearful power. I won't even look. I'm cool on that, man. I don't even like dealing with the shit I gotta deal when I go to sleep, man. Much let this, I'm terrified of the Lord, man. All right, so this is the book of Psalm 78 and 49. It says, "He cast upon them the fierceness of his anger, wrath and indignation and trouble, by sending evil angels among them." The one you call God does this. Wasn't Satan, it was the Most High. The Most High said, go down there and do it. For all you people that believe that Satan is the progenitor of evil spirits, you out your mind, because the Most High created Satan. He created Satan, and Satan lead the charge, man. Look, these are your people. Go out there and do what you need to do. And Satan takes his orders from the Most High. He's not against him at all. He's not up there fighting with Yahweh Shai. Satan is up there. Yes, Lord, what can I do to serve you? Lord said, look, man, go out there and kill these people, man. Or the Lord just do it. Actually, the Lord, if you read in the Bible, the Lord got way more body counters than Satan. The Lord is the ultimate execution. He's the ultimate mass murderer and the ultimate fucker up of plans. If you trying to go left, the Most High gonna make your ass go up or down, man. He ain't gonna plead with it. And it says, he casted upon them the fierceness of his anger, wrath and indignation and trouble by sending evil angels among them. He made a way to his anger and spared not their soul from death, but gave their life over to the pestilence, because he gave these spirits elements over the charge over the elements. So when you have like down there in Haiti, down there like Hurricane Maria, Category 5, they said the hand and the eye of the Most High. Hurricane Harvey, Hurricane Irma, and these different 4 and 5 categories. It's 4 and 5 category led hurricane and tsunamis. Hey, look, those are the angels of the Lord doing that, man, having control over the elements. Because angels consist of the elements, man, which part of the elements is fire, water, and wind. Okay, and a spiritual substance. That's why the 3 main elements of a spirit, even when you go into fantasy, is you got earth, wind, and fire. And the angels control all that through the spirit and power of Yahweh Shai. So at the time when he was smoting those Egyptians, man, he was putting plagues on them. Because it told you that, man, like they heard things falling before them, waterfalls, man, cackling, all kinds of shit. That's what you get the concept of a haunted house. Because Egypt was a total haunted house when the Lord started plaguing that place. And America is going to be the ultimate haunted house. The Lord is going to plague this place, man. You're going to literally see Jason out here, Michael Myers. You're going to really see these spirits out here that's manifesting themselves like that fucking stupid nigga Yaradon. What he say? We don't want everybody getting spirits, But nah, man. But that's the whole thing. The Lord is going to send them spirits out here, man. And you're going to see them. Like they going to really manifest themselves. These spirits on these people going to literally manifest themselves in a metaphysical way. And you're going to see it. Like that whole movie, It. Alright, man. You're going to see something like that. We all float, right? So this is a very dangerous game that you tribes, man. You Edomites mainly are provoking the Lord, man. Hey, we don't want to provoke him, man, because, we know what it is. We know what the power of the Lord is, man. But you people, you go keep on playing, man. You're going to keep on. Anyway, back in the Apocrypha, the book of Sirach, the 39th chapter, starting in verse 28. Go ahead and get that right fast, brethren. Right fast, man. Because, hey, man, like sleep paralysis, as Esau damn it with scientific dogma, it's very, very intensifying, man. Trust me, I go through it every week. Every week, man. But I learned how to kind of overcome it and I'm just I just deal with it now, Shit, it ain't put me away yet. So apparently, the Lord is having favor on me. But, nonetheless, the Lord is building my faith up, man. And you got forces that's working against us, too. You got these witches that's really trying to manifest themselves and come in our dreams and stuff and trying to really discourage us from going out there. Because the deeper you get in this truth, the more spirits you want to deal with, the more level you get on. Like, we don't even deal with Satan, man. We deal with his minions. Apostles deal with Satan, probably. Man, we couldn't deal with the demons, the apostle. The hard deal, the spirits that attack him, Apostle Ramlab, Gabar and those other apostles and elders, man. Rakar, man, the spirits that deal with them, man, we can't stand up to that. Hell no, we got our own set of battles we gotta fight, man. Please, you think that Peter was able to deal with the demons and how Shah was tempted? Look, man, 40 days and 40 nights led into the wilderness to be tempted by Satan, man. No man of the Lord can do that. Don't give a damn. You can be Elijah the prophet. He couldn't deal with that. The Lord did it, all right? And he was weakened, but overcame it. What make you think we can even touch that? Brothers can't even fast 3 days straight, man, without bugging out. Okay? So this is the book of Sirach 39 and 25. It says, for the good are good things created from the beginning. So evil things for sinners, right? Talking about you wicked ass Negroes and you crackers, man. All right, and I'm going to go down to verse 28. It says, there be spirits that are created for vengeance. And as we showed you in that video, those demons that was plaguing them people, man, every time that kid took a picture, he saw a damn witch behind him. That's scary as fuck. And just imagine how many people are these Edomites or these people walking around being plagued by that, man. You don't want that. But the Lord will do it to you. And it says there be spirits. That's why you got to stay prayed up too, man. And it says there be spirits. Get the hell away from me. But it says there be spirits created for vengeance. Like Jeffrey Dahmer. He was a spirit created for vengeance. Because his ultimate goal was to come into the world to eat motherfuckers. John Wayne Gacy. What's his name? Charlie Manson. What's another serial killer? Charles Manson, John Wayne Gacy, Jeffrey Dahmer. OJ was a spirit of vengeance to that damn demon wife of his. But it says, which in their furry long sore strokes. And sore strokes would be anything from torment, from mind manipulation, to you bugging out, to medications to make you bug out. Because when they throw you in an insane asylum, they putting demons on you, more demons on you. And the brother had a testimony, man. He said that, when he was dealing with some things a while back, he was in a hospital, man, and just getting back on track with his life. And he said that a fucking witch doctor looked like a typical nigga, a Levite, showed him a magazine of a damn stun gun and pointed the magazine and started zapping the brother, man. So these people got spirits on them, man. And hey. But it says, in the time of their destruction, they pour out force and appease the wrath of him that made them. It said they appease the wrath, meaning they appease. They mean they make the Most High satisfied, man. It said that the Lord don't be happy until he see blood. When he see blood and see that you're put down and he bring you back to the spirit realm, hey, that's when the Lord is like, okay, job well done. Commend them for it. That's why it says, in the time of destruction, they pour out their force. Okay, time of destruction could be anytime from when they put you to death or when they torment you, or from when this wicked society collapse. Because, hey, America is getting ready to see the worst time known to man, okay? Yahweh Shai said it. It said it in the book of Daniel. The book of Jeremiah, I think, is Jacob's Trouble 30 and 4. But, hey, it's getting ready to be crazy out here, man. With the martial law coming to chip, starting to open up the spirit world. You know what I'm saying? Esau, the elites on the left-hand side, making sacrifices daily. It's getting ready to get real out here, man. Hey, we got to be covered. And it says, and appease the wrath of him that made them. Fire and hell and famine and death, always recreated for vengeance. Teeth of wild beasts and scorpions, serpents, and the sword punishing the wicked to destruction, being you damn Edomites and the 2/3 of our people. Teeth of wild beasts, man, okay? Lions, tigers, bears, Bigfoots, Sasquatch, which is really his true name. The Mothman, all these so-called paranormal phenomena that's going to manifest themselves in the last days. It says, in a sword punishing the wicked to destruction, and they should rejoice in his commandment, because, hey, they glad to do the bidding of the Lord. And they should be ready upon earth when need is, and need is the time of Jacob's trouble, and when their time is come, and they should not transgress his word. See? They should not transgress it. They not going to go against and buck up against the Lord. When he say, look, go and get him, hey, they willingly with it. Okay, hey, I'm with it. That's why we got to be, we got to be prayed up, man. We got to steady be prayed up, man. Because this, hey, we getting ready into some shit, man. We getting ready into some times, man. What am I looking for? The book of what? Isaiah 45 and 7. Isaiah 45:7, it says, I form the light, I create darkness, I make peace, I create evil. I, the Lord, do all these things. So when you got a clown chasing your ass down the damn street with a sock and a brick in his hand, getting ready to crack you upside your damn head, hey man, that's the spirit of the Lord putting the spirit on them clowns to do it. Like they had that clown phenomenon last year. Then you had this movie It that just came out. That's all the spirit and power of Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shah, man. The Lord controls this. This is his program. This is his movie. The Lord got an action movie, a horror movie, and a love story, and a drama movie all wrapped up into one damn movie, man. Lord, man, he is all those things. It's sad, it's happy, it's depressing, it's scary, it's fun. Lord give you all emotions in his movie. Okay? So this is the book of Ephesians 6:10, and this is to the men of the Lord, man. Lord's will, I am a man of the Lord. It says, finally, my brethren, be strong in the Lord and the power of his might. Put on a whole armor of Yahweh, that you may be able to stand against the wiles of the devil. And putting that armor on is being engraved in these scriptures, meditating on them, calling on that name, knowing the name, believing in the name, having it on your head and praying. It says, for we wrestle not against flesh and blood, right? Because the shit you see, yeah, it may look like a typical peon Edomite, but hey, they like they say, man, they're like reptilian creatures, man. They pull that mask off, man, you see Satan under there. But against principalities, against powers, and the rulers of darkness of this world, and the principalities of these different governments and these different spiritual planes, against powers, which is Esau, against rulers, which is these Edomites, of the darkness of this world, because the Esau was totally engaged in witchcraft. He's a witch. He really deals with spiritual demon Satan on the left-hand side. That's what the Lord set him up to do. Esau he's a damn witch, man. He's nothing to be fucking taken lightly. All right, because he has that power right now that the Lord gave him. And it says, against spiritual wickedness in high places. And the high places, America, man. And it says, wherefore, take unto you, it said, the whole armor of the Most High, that you may be able to withstand in the evil day, which is Jacob's trouble, the time we're getting ready to enter into any day now. And having done all to stand. And it says, having all to stand, putting these shows out, praying and fasting, being charitable with the brothers, going out to the highways and the byways, praying, believing in that name. Make sure you do everything to get that strength, man, to up your character. And it says, stand therefore, having your loins girt about you with the truth. Not no other Christianity, not Islam, not Jehovah wickedness, not Egyptology. And having on the breastplate of righteousness, you know. And that's just what it is. And it says, and feet shod with the preparation of gospel of peace. And above all, taking a shield of faith, because faith is what's going to get you through this thing, wherewith you should be able to quench all the fiery darts of the wicked. Because he's throwing them at us, man. Psalm 64 said that you shoot at the righteous from secret. And take the helmet of salvation and the sword of the Spirit, which is the word of the Most High. Praying always with all prayer and supplication in the Spirit, meaning we have to continue to pray. You got to pray every minute of the day, man, in the word. And watching thereunto with all perseverance and all supplication for all the saints, man. Because, hey, we dealing with some high level shit here, man. Brothers don't really realize what we're really in. You know, even, we might not even understand it fully, but, hey, we're in some crazy times, man. We're getting ready to enter some crazy times, and I got one more precept I'm gonna bring out, and I'm gonna shut it down after that, man. And I hope this was a very edifying lesson, brothers, man. So let's go. Let's do it. So this is the book of 2 Corinthians 4, and I'm gonna start at verse 8. It says, we are troubled on every side, yet not distressed, because we got the forces coming against us in the spiritual realm. We got Esau coming against us. We got 2/3 of Jake coming against us, man. We being attacked on our finances, our health, our livelihood, our mental health, our spirituality. We being attacked on all sides. We are perplexed, but not in despair. Persecuted, but not forsaken, because the scripture said the Lord will never leave you nor forsake you. Cast down, but not destroyed, because we are currently in slavery, getting the hell beat out of us. And it says, always bearing about in the body of the dying of the Lord Yahushua, that the life also of Yahushua may be manifested in our body. For we which live are already delivered unto death for Yahushua's sake, that the life also of the Mashiach or Yahushua may be made manifest in our mortal flesh. So then death worketh in us, but life in you. So these are things that's not uncommon to us. These are things that we're going to go through. And by us being men and prophets of Yahweh Bashim Yahushua, Hey, you can't expect nothing less. So with that, I'm going to close out. Give all praise and glory, honor to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. Double honors to the elders, the apostles of Great Millstone. Salutations to you, elect Akim that's pushing this doctrine in sincerity and truth. I hope you are edified. Until again, Shalom.